Guys, we've been censored because of the YouTube's policy. A certain portion of Sunday's episode, uh, episode 65 of Pyramid, got put down. So now, if you want to watch the full clip, go on the Spotify and Apple. The full episode is there. It's literally the first 10 minutes we got fucking censored for. But enjoy the episode on here as well. Keep rocking, guys. What's up, beautiful people? Welcome back to another episode of Sunday Sessions with Rich podcast. I think this is episode 65. I've recorded so many episodes at this point. They all just fucking flow together. This guest needs no introduction, but he will. He is Pyramid Realm, aka Braden Lockwood. Bro, welcome back to the show.
Hey, thanks for having me, man. 65. That's quite a landmark.
Bro, this is what, our third episode together?
Yes, sir. First one in video, though. I like this format a lot better.
Gives a more of a direct energy. Guys, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button and leave a comment. I would love to hear from you guys and what you love about the show for sure. Now, anytime you come on, bro, we always talk about the current events and things that we're seeing. Where's your head kind of been at recently?
Dude, I've been tuning it out a little bit. I was pretty heavily invested in like the vaccine argument, and I really don't want to see vaccine passports enforced around the world. But the last month or so, I've kind of taken a step back and just been focusing more on myself. But I guess also in doing that, I feel like I actually found more peace in like my understanding of what's happening, just tuning into like the Earth's energy, and just like I feel like we're on the brink of like the matrix truly just like crumbling and some form of like mass liberation event.
Yep.
And I see these systems collapsing, and like I think things are just going to get progressively more and more ridiculous like as time goes on. And I don't necessarily think that like reacting to how ridiculous everything is even helps that much, like everything's gonna it's so ridiculous that hopefully like people that aren't awake or aren't questioning things, like eventually like they're gonna start questioning things, and it's just gonna get more and more ridiculous until we make some kind of free will decision that we want like to create a different Earth, a more community focused, decentralized world that's free.
What I've noticed too with I guess like everything that's like happening, the more obvious that it is, like the most outlandish shit, like did they really say that or did they really do that? It's gonna spark people to question, and then maybe that's just the character or the scene that's supposed to happen for people to wake up.
Yeah, it's a balance. Where like I don't know if you followed the John McAfee situation.
Not too familiar with it. Not too familiar.
Me neither, but I did a little bit of research, and it seemed like there's some craziness going on there. And I always think it's suspect when like important central figures wind up dead, especially when they're in custody. Like,
Yeah,
that's pretty interesting to me. And
that's
also,
always the
like,
theme too.
didn't the Haiti president just get?
Yep.
Yeah, he just died, and I thought that was super like.
It's no coincidence with that one.
It's super alarming because Haiti was one of the countries that like turned down the vaccine, and one of the only other countries that really like took a stance and was like, we're not going to do that. Is I think it was Tanzania, and the Tanzanian president, prime minister, whatever, I don't know his title, but he also died of like a heart attack this summer after coming out and speaking out against it. So it's like all these world leaders that aren't playing along with kind of a new world order game plan, like they just wind up dead. And yeah, I don't
gotta question that shit.
Comment on that, but I definitely think it's worth like taking a look at and questioning.
You gotta question everything, man. There's a lot of things I've been peeping that they started talking about recently, about knocking on people's doors and educating about the vaccine. Like these measures, man, y'all really pushing this shit.
Bro, they're doing like door to door vax pushing. It's like Bro,
It's like a salesman's going, have you had your vaccines yet?
it's becoming a religion, you know, like
Mm-hmm.
that's what that's really the death of like science as we know it, is it's become so dogmatic and closed-minded and like
Mm-hmm.
and
It's either
and
one way. It's like you either following this script
totally.
or you're wrong.
Or you're anti-science,
Yeah,
you know,
you're
and it's
anti-science. There's no
like I have a
critical thinking going on at all. It
there's
could be
no
the most like shit that don't make no sense, but there's no, let me question this.
exactly, like I have a bachelor's of science degree, you know, like I'm not like coming just solely out of like froofy spiritual new age beliefs, you know, like I really
You
I
studied
believe
in
in
this shit.
science.
You know your
I
shit.
yeah, I believe in like the fundamentals of physics, and I believe that like the scientific process is really important in like building out our understanding of the universe and like a
Hmm.
working model for us to work with. But like when you're not allowed to question anything that science does without being like labeled anti-science, and you're not allowed to like question whether we should be pushing mandatory idea of society ever. It's to just be constantly chasing like a pharmaceutical booster shot. And yeah, I really don't think they'll be able to pull it off. You know, like I
Hmm.
think
Too many
there's
people. Too many people waking up right now. Too many conscious people already. Well aware people.
yeah, they can't that's another thing that I really try to keep central to my message is like I don't think it helps to spread like doom and gloom. Like I
Mm-mm.
really believe we live in a free will planet where
So
like
many timelines.
free will is respected. And so like if we say no, like it's over. Like the
Hmm.
only way they can get us to give like they can't take
Our
away freedom.
permission.
We have to offer our freedoms up. You know, we
Yep.
have to ask them to take it from us. And that's why there's so much propaganda, you know, where you have people like begging for it, you know, and it's like it's mind control to be honest with you. It's hard to see, but like
It makes you I guess it kind of makes you confront death. It's a really, I guess, fucked up, scared, tactic that they're using, and just the whole thing of it. But it makes you come in terms with death and not wanting to die. But at the core of it, it makes you one appreciate life, and then two, I mean, we go pop off this bitch anyway. So it's like
yeah.
shit. That's where my head at is, especially just like lately with death. Like at first, I had like fearful thoughts of it, but taking psychedelics and just being in tune with myself is, I'm just like, that's just the next chapter.
Yeah, I think in that's one of the things I hope like comes out of the whole COVID situation, you know, like I really try to see it as like some type of blessing in disguise where like good
Mm-hmm.
things are going to come out of it.
Yeah.
And I hope one of the things that comes out of it is like people coming to terms with death, you know,
Mm-hmm.
people coming to terms with the idea of death because we live in a culture that like shields us from the idea of death very
Mm-hmm.
much. And like it's so for me it's so foolish to be like afraid of something inevitable because like you're
Mm-hmm.
living in fear for something that like
It's gonna happen anyway.
gonna happen. So
Yeah.
like you could live your life in fear of it, or you like I would argue you're not really truly alive until you stop living in fear of it, you know, until you
But it comes down to, because I mean, you know this, like this identifying with whatever it is. If you're identifying with the existence of the disease, or the fearfulness of it, then that's going to be your experience. It just all comes down to what are you creating for your individual experience. I've noticed too on Twitter, and it makes me see deeper the levels of awareness that it is, not, and one not being bigger than the other, um but there's a limit to how much you can create, and also you you're aware enough, but you still can get caught in the fear traps of, or whatever illusion that's going on. But
yeah.
I've noticed, I was like, okay, if you know you create your reality, why are you adopting to the fear? But then I like to look at it from their perspective of, it got to be a reason, and just being okay with that. It's interesting. It's interesting take.
Yeah, I definitely agree because I believe really strongly in like the body's ability to heal itself and
Hmm.
also to attack itself. You
Hmm.
know, so that's why I try not to like put something out into the world like if you take the vaccine you're going to like
Yeah.
because like I
No.
honestly think if you say that and then someone believes it and then takes the vaccine, like if they believe,
Hmm.
okay, I'm gonna take the vaccine and get a heart attack, like I think you can increase the body's chance of making that a reality. Uh,
Damn.
so yeah, so I try to be like conscientious of that. Um, and yeah,
Especially
like
like when we
most,
post as well. I guess it's kind of like, look, because that makes, damn, that's so fucking true. Is our responsibility to be mindful of the info we're putting out, because even if someone takes what's been said, that can create that timeline for them.
yeah, especially like lately, I've been really trying to like I don't I don't even know when I like having a platform is kind of strange to me, you know, like I'm just like a person, you know, like
Yeah.
and like I just got on Twitter, just started like saying what I felt about stuff and like this last like 2 months I've been trying to like really reflect on like what it means to have like 30 plus thousand people that like you tweet
Hmm.
something and then all of a sudden like whatever message you put out like it actually like becomes part of their reality, you know, like that
Yeah, that's so true.
like, those words like matter. And so I've been trying to be like very conscientious because I think especially when I was younger, like I would just react to anything, you know, like
Of course, of
and,
course.
and yeah, like and I was having fun, and I think like most people, yeah, like I connected with a lot of like-minded people, and I think it allowed me to like express myself and understand myself. But yeah, I've been trying to be much more like focused on being a positive influence in the world
Yeah.
with all the content that I create and put out.
What new content have you I know before we had hit record, you were talking about you was creating some new content. What you got going on?
So I'm dropping a couple more music videos.
Let's go,
Yeah,
man.
I've been trying to find new ways of expressing myself, you know,
Mhm.
and like one of my favorite ways to express myself is just through the business. You know, I really think of my business as like a work of art in itself. You know, it's like a
Mhm.
functional work of art. And we have hoodies, we like clothes, etc., pyramids, canvases. I work with artists that I'm
That's
really
so
like
cool.
passionate about supporting. And and yeah, like I think it's just hard to like really express what you're trying to say through text.
Hmm.
Because like you can like I honestly think that like you, you put a sentence together, a paragraph together, and depending on the state of mind that different people are in, every single person that reads it is going to have a totally different, unique experience of what those words mean. And without especially without a voice behind it, like it's so everything's so subjective and subject to misinterpretation.
Hmm.
And yeah, I guess that's what I'm been frustrated with, like just across the board. Like I'm gonna go to Utah in a
That's so
couple
cool.
weeks to just meet up with someone that I really like off Twitter and like actually like I just want to have conversations, you know,
Yeah, of
and that's why I appreciate you having me on. Is like I really
course, bro.
enjoy this format more than just pounding out tweets and
Mhm.
interacting in that way.
Just having conversations and having genuine connections with people as well. By the time this episode drops, oh well, because this will be Sunday when people listening to it. I'll still be in Denver. I'm going to Colorado next weekend to go chill with some college buddies. I'm just looking forward to camping and being detached to nature, and hopefully find some shrooms and trip out.
Dude, I haven't done a trip in so long. It's been at least 6 plus months, and I usually don't wait that long, but
I just ain't been called to it.
nice. Yeah, I I've had some incredible experiences with shrooms that definitely like
Man.
opened my mind and really like helped me find myself.
Hmm. Just opens up you to your innermost self, and all the things you need to work on comes out, and everything that you're not, aware of comes in front of you, and you're in full bliss, full fucking bliss.
Yeah, and I love like the therapeutic aspect of it, like I really
Hmm.
think that I really try to see the mushrooms as like healers,
Yeah,
and
they
like I think
are. They
they
are.
are, they definitely are, and they're conscious too, and so I try to like before I take a trip, like set an intention,
Yeah,
like this is what
got
I want to
you.
get out of this, and I love the way that like in the waking up process, at every level, we have mind patterns, egoic mind patterns and just thought patterns, and we're not always aware of them, we're acting from them, but we're not always fully aware of like why we do what we do. And like
Where
we're
that
not always
pattern
aware
come
of,
from?
yeah, we're not always like sometimes we do things, and this is kind of insanity, we do things that make us unhappy,
Yeah,
we keep doing them, and we become addicted to like
with
a
that pain, that trauma.
yeah, we become addicted to suffering,
Yeah.
and for me, like in my experience with mushrooms, it was like it showed me my mind, like I remember like
Hmm.
really for the first time becoming the full observer of my mind, and just like seeing like the random stuff that spouts out of my mind,
Yeah.
and like recognizing like this is like healthy, this is positive self-talk, this is like,
Hmm.
yeah, this is helping me grow and evolve into the person I want to be. And then seeing some other stuff bubble up and be like, no, I reject these ideas from my like worldview, my
Yeah.
reality tunnel. Like I don't want that to be part of my perspective.
And that's so dope, man. One thing I've been noticing recently, in my life is understanding is we're always being reborn, and it's always gonna be like a evolution to it. It's gonna be highs and lows, but in those lows, you dive deep into yourself and you tap into what else needs to be healed. So like even and shout out to inner practitioner too. Had me he had tweeted something. No, I was in the podcast episode. He tweeted something, and it was about identifying with the emotion. So instead of saying I'm sad, I'm experiencing sadness, and then the
Yeah.
next question will probably come in like, okay, why are we experiencing sadness? What is this trying to show me? And kind of like diving down, trying to find a root. But lately, man, just been honoring myself and how I feel. Like I haven't been really too
Yeah.
engaged with a lot recently. Just taking the time to just be with myself and not force shit and just being genuine.
Yeah. I think that's really powerful. And yeah, I'm reading a book right now that kind of touches on that. And it says like I think a really healthy practice that's
Mhm.
kind of goes along with like identifying with the emotions is like talking to the emotions.
Mm.
Like if you like creating a like let's say self-doubt is coming in, like
Mhm.
you're having these thoughts that are like, yeah, you're doubting yourself, you're doubting your worth, you're doubting your capabilities, you're doubting your potential, you're doubting your purpose, whatever it is. Like that voice pops up, it's like recognize instantly, like, hey, like I am not that voice,
Mhm.
you know, and then like coming from deep within you and addressing that voice, like, hello, self doubt, like
Oh, that's
I
cool. I like
see you
that.
again, like you don't serve me right now, like I hear you, next, like I don't need to dwell in this. and and same with like a victim mentality, like if you
Yeah.
start noticing yourself like m- like a voice in your
Blaming.
mind making yourself into the victim of a situation, like becoming aware of that and being like, no, like this is disempowering me.
Mhm.
Like, this does not serve me. I hear you, ego. I don't need you right now. And I think it helps to kind of like what you're saying is identify the emotion, identify the voice, and then recognize that that is not you.
Mhm.
And then you can kind of move forward and realign with like your true being, your true essence.
That's so true, man. I had a because it's I mean it's easy to fall into like victim thoughts or complaining about shit. I work from home and the power ended up being out in my building like during the middle of like calling clients and shit. And so I was like, fuck man, I'm missing out on money. Like this time I could be like, stacking my commission and shit. And then I surrendered like, well, this is no coincidence with this. What am I meant to do? Maybe I just need to be with myself and just have a long time, and just be centered and not be distracted. And okay, we just go release and surrender and figure out, why is this happening. But it's just that pivot and that switch up instead of like, oh fuck, man, now I'm angry, I'm pissed, fuck this day, I can't do shit. You switched them to a different thought. It was are you familiar with Abraham Hicks?
Yes, I haven't read any of his books, but I've definitely seen some quotes.
It's they have a bunch of YouTube clips, and one of the clips Abraham was talking about experiencing. So I think one of the stories I might be paraphrasing. So a person cut Abraham off, for example, and the person, an average, person be mad, rightfully so. But then the pivot thought with that would be, okay, maybe that person was just in a hurry, in a rush, and they couldn't do it. So you went from that negative, oh fuck you just cut me off, to okay, maybe they was just in a hurry,
Yeah,
it's okay.
maybe someone was pregnant, about to give birth, or anything.
Right.
Like you don't know what their reality
You're
is.
assuming, and
Yeah,
that's dangerous. It can, especially when you have that conversation in your head about shit, like you having a narration about a situation. It's not even like that at all. But your
yeah,
mind is just going
yeah.
and going and
I,
going.
I tweeted a couple days ago that like most of our suffering is from the stories we tell ourselves,
Yeah, I saw that earlier. Yeah.
and I've really been like, yeah, I've been practicing a lot of what we're talking about
Mm-hmm.
this last like month or so, because like I don't know, I think it's like we all try to like achieve a state of zen, where we're like
Mm-hmm.
at peace with everything,
Yep.
and like for like the last year or so, yeah, I've been on cloud nine. Like I've been really happy with my life, and like everything's just been going smoothly, like perfect. The business is taken off. Like I love my house, my friends, like, and everything's just been so great. And I feel like it was like really easy to be in a state of bliss, for a long period of time. And yeah, then like this last month kind of hit, and I went through some stuff in my personal life,
Mm-hmm.
like, and like, oh, I lost some money in crypto. Like it seemed like
Oh
things
man.
were just kind of like going down, and but like I was still like I was next to the ocean. I was with good friends,
Mhm.
and I kind of just made like a decision, like I'm not gonna run with the story that like the world's suddenly against me and
Mhm.
everything's falling apart. Like I'm gonna go for a swim. I'm gonna keep like, yeah, just like being really present and focusing on like maintaining that state of inner bliss and like happiness,
Yeah.
even like when shit isn't going your way, because that's
Mhm.
really the harder test, right?
Yeah, it is. How can we pivot from that victim to, what is this trying to show me?
Totally, because there's wisdom in everything.
Mhm.
I really believe that, and I think that helps me maintain an attitude of gratitude um,
That's so huge. That's so
throughout it all.
huge.
Because like
Yeah.
when hard shit's happening, I'm like, okay, there's probably stuff like needed perspectives I'm gaining and
Mhm.
wisdom and experience that I'm accumulating through this hard time.
Mhm.
Like I wouldn't be able to get if things weren't going like this.
Mhm.
So how is
The
this benefiting?
introspection.
yeah, how is this benefiting me in the
Mm-hmm.
long run? How can I use this as an opportunity for self growth? How can I use it as an opportunity to practice what I preach and etc. Really try to stay focused on those thoughts,
It's kind of like a master teacher kind of test. Like, okay, you talk about this is how you supposed to maneuver through certain shit. Now I need you to practice it and adopt it. And one thing, and you touched upon gratitude, and I've noticed recently through my own like down experiences that's the one thing that can really switch you into a better feeling state. Yeah, you're still experiencing the feelings, it's still there, but you're
Yeah,
not viewing it from a bad perspective. It's more of a, I guess, curiosity and how can we overcome it? What is this trying to show me? And if you find the beauty in situations, you just put yourself in a better frequency and a better frame of mind.
yeah, and it's not about like bypassing it, right? Where
Mm-hmm.
like one thing I think I see a lot of in the spiritual community is like the idea of like what high vibe is, or what
Mm-hmm.
like you're supposed to be like this all the time. And I think sometimes that lends itself to like repressing what you're feeling,
So true. So
because
true.
like
Yeah.
let's say you had a shit day, like things are going horrible, like blank is upset with you and you disappointed blank and you made a bad business decision, whatever, like, and things are just bad overall. Like, I don't think that like enlightenment is disregarding that, like
Mm-hmm.
at
Still
least
gotta feel it. Still gotta
you
understand
gotta
it.
feel it
That's the
to
only
heal it,
way. Yeah.
feel it to heal it. I'm full of little sound bites for you, but
And that shit sucks ass, man. That shit sucks
it
ass sometimes, but you gotta go through that shit.
it does, dude. And I also think that like there's like one thing I love personally about life is I love when things get really real, like
Mm.
and like sometimes the hardest times, and like the darkest times, like sometimes that's when you have the rawest experience of life. And with that
Mm-hmm.
comes a lot of clarity
Mm-hmm.
of what you're looking for, so and you can bring with you that you can bring that clarity with you into the good times.
That's so true.
So like you hit a rock bottom or something, or maybe it's not even rock bottom, maybe it's
Yeah.
just like a dip and things are rough and you're seeing things with new eyes. You realize you're taking certain things for granted, you weren't
Mm-hmm.
being appreciative, and then like that experience then like can overall like be healthy and good for you if you carry that wisdom with you back into the good times, and then next time like you're in the good times, like you remember you to be
Mm.
appreciative of all the little things in your life and to really focus on that and not to become complacent.
Damn, that's so true. It's kind of like the metaphor for video games. Kind of, I guess it's like a boss level for you to level up, and then you take what you learn from that and adopt it to your next shit. Kick
Yeah.
ass, man.
I'm definitely with you that sometimes I think of this whole thing as like a giant cosmic video game.
Bro, I've been really big on this dome theory lately, man. I really think we're in a fucking dome. I really believe that. Like, it's just something about it. Just I believe that the water is like underneath the water is actually space, and I don't know. That's been really on my mind heavy.
Yeah, I've always thought there's more to the earth,
Mhm.
like like I kind of sometimes I think it's like a torus shape,
Mm,
which I don't, it's like it's the same shape as like the electromagnetic fields that go around our bodies.
mm-hmm.
And yeah, like I don't think anyone really knows like what this realm looks like, like, and I'm wary of anyone that like says like, oh, like, I know for sure, but
I know. I've been there.
I figured it out. I took enough DMT. I know.
What's your take on the little ocean fire little thing?
Oh my, I mean, it's just like it just looks dystopian, you know?
Yeah.
Like, and I feel like that's why it's making so much news headlines. Is like,
Mm,
and that's why I don't even want to give it my energy because like
yeah.
it's like everything. It's like they're trying to create hell on earth. Like some people are trying to create hell on earth, and some people are trying to create heaven on earth.
Yep.
And like whatever they're doing that like is resulting in fires boiling up inside of the ocean, and then they're like spraying water on fire. Like
Mhm. It's a lot of
I don't,
questions. It's a lot of
I don't know
questions.
what the hell they're doing, but like
No.
it's not good, you know.
No. I
Like
think
the oceans aren't supposed to be on fire, you know. I know that.
if you're not questioning that, like, and I know people saw the video. If you're not questioning, like, how is this possible, then I don't know, man.
Yeah,
I don't know. One thing too, this fucking journey is weird, man. Like, because now I'm at a point with this podcast, I want to be very mindful of the content I'm putting out. And when you have so many episodes, you start to think like, okay, what direction is like, where do we want to go? And guys, I would love, your comments, your suggestions, and even like you reaching out and being on as well. Because this is I'm doing this for you guys. This is like and it's also a cool diary and chat I get to have with my friends. And that's why I appreciate Twitter, bro, and I appreciate you for being on as well. Because we get to have these conversations. Like you can only text so much, man. You can only go back and forth between messages, but having like conversations like these, man, and I appreciate.
no, yeah, me too. This It's refreshing, dude. It's good for the soul to just like really connect with someone, and I love Twitter for that too. You know, where like I think at different points in this journey, especially like people that really start questioning things and waking up, like there's gonna be moments where you feel really alone,
Yeah.
where you're like, wow, like do I have like nothing in common with anyone? You know, like am I like weird? Is it like unacceptable to like be who I am? And I think while there's pros and cons and definitely negative and positive sides of social media,
Mm-hmm.
like I'm definitely overall grateful for sure for all the people that I've met, you know, and that reminded me like, no, you're not alone. Like a lot of people think like this, a lot of people value and appreciate your insights, and like it definitely like has kept me going sometimes when I was
Yeah.
like, just wanting to stop or wanting to like throw in the towel, like knowing that there's other people out there. um
So you can especially like read information they're put out, or just like even tweets in itself being therapeutic. It's always I'm a big firm, well, I say believer but knower, I like to use knower. I'm a big knower that whenever you see something on Twitter, or even just a fucking message somewhere, and it's for you because it hits, that was for you. You were meant to see that was a coded message being sent to you for you.
yeah, and your intuition will kind of confirm it, you know, like
Mhm.
something will kind of jump out at you. You're like, oh, that
Yeah.
like that's calling to me right now, like that applies. And it's great to like, I don't know, I consider myself blessed to be in a position where like I like the idea that I can create that for someone else, that
Mhm.
experience, you know, that aha moment, you know, where
It
like
all clicks.
I don't have it figured out at all.
Yeah.
I'm
And that's the
sure,
beauty
but
of
like
it, man. Not
that's
knowing
the
that you
beauty.
don't
But
know
like
everything is the best part.
yeah, but I know I know what I know, or like I definitely have my own insights that have helped me, and I love like being able to put that out in the world, and then having like someone younger or someone at a similar stage in the process kind of like connect that dot in their mind,
Yeah.
and make them feel like valid and heard and seen, and like
They're
they're
not
not
alone.
alone.
Yeah. Because it's interesting now, bro. I remember when I first had my spiritual awakening, I only had YouTube. I didn't have spiritual Twitter. I didn't have, this Twitter. I was tweeting just fucking 21-year-old college tweets. and a blip, not having any content to kind of lean on. And then now just the I guess the evolution and just people, I guess people just waking up in general. And I guess that kind of is in reflection to you being a mirror to everything. So I guess in our timeline, those people are waking up. But then, people like you and you and I, we have content in a platform that even if someone is like, I'm pretty sure we have followers who are probably like 15, 16. But at that young ass age, well, I'm not saying that's a bad age if you listen to the podcast, but that that young age, you have the information to be navigate this reality differently.
Yeah, and we definitely do like have young followers, and that kind of goes back to what I was saying about like trying to be much more like conscientious with my content. Is like I have like a 13-year-old brother. I have a 10-year-old and a 13-year-old brother, and my the middle brother like recently got an iPhone and he has internet access. And I'm like thinking to myself, like, damn, like he can like go on Twitter, like he can,
Yeah.
like look up his older brother's tweets and like what kind of role model do I want to be? Like what kind of
Yeah.
what kind of man do I want to be? And it's I don't know, I appreciate that I think everyone that like everyone knows that you're on a journey too, and I feel like we're all tuning in to like those moments of insights from each other, and also just like there to appreciate the growth and to see the growth and recognize the growth, and to
Yeah.
grow together.
That's so true. It's like a community. One thing I guess my recent lessons and what I've been going through is the importance of self-love and setting boundaries for yourself. And I think it was either Will Smith or David Goggins. I was watching a YouTube clip, and they were talking about having a non-negotiable with yourself, like a self-contract. Like if I say I'm gonna do something, um, I have to do it because that's a contract with myself. I can't let myself down, and just asking myself like, what do you need? How can I be of service to you? What's going on? Do we need, do you want to, jump? I mean, like get off the grid kind of thing, or detach yourself? Like, what do you
Yeah,
need? And just been an introspective period, man. Just being in myself.
definitely. Because also, like, I think, like, I don't think you can really show up for anyone if you don't show up for yourself.
Big facts.
Like, yeah, I'm really absorbing this new book I'm reading, and it talks a lot about kind of what we're saying. Like another thing that I think like you can't you can't make anyone feel anything. Like like monitor and have control over like your own experience of reality, and you can do like things to show people that you care about them, or like that you value a friendship, or that like, you can text your mom and do things,
Mhm.
but like ultimately like all you have control over is like your own inner state,
Yep.
and if your own inner state isn't content with yourself, like happy with your own life, fulfilling your own needs, taking care of yourself, like honoring your boundaries, honoring like your own truth, respecting your own perspective. If you're not doing those things for yourself, then anything that you like, then doing things for other people, it's going to slowly build resentment. Like you have to be coming from a place of like real authenticity and self-love, and that's when you're actually capable of like connecting with people on a soul level, and having those relationships.
And you can it resonates hard and it resonates deeper because you know the words that people need, but not, I guess not even like, even if you just, the message is just how you're feeling, but you know how to express it in a way that it can resonate with that person, because everybody receives information differently.
Yeah, definitely. And yeah, I've been, yeah, I've also like through this last month or so just been like doubling back on self-love, you know, as like the central teaching, the most important thing.
Yep.
And yeah, like ultimately, like in any situation, like you are your own source of happiness, you know, and the more you try to attach yourself to outcomes or to desires, you know, the more you try to like cling on to things,
Mhm.
like it takes you out of that state of being where you are like in bliss with your own self. You know, it takes you
Yeah.
out of alignment with that. And yeah, those are some of the lessons that I've just been kind of like working through this last month.
It's it's like this whole time, I mean, this whole period is just like some weird ass shit. Like I had this thought a couple weeks ago. We came back into an interesting fucking time of life.
True
Uh
that, man.
it, especially like just everything that's going on, and then just I guess the concept of time kind of like even being faster or slower, but going through so many things that probably would take a lifetime. It's all compact into like maybe let's just say a year, or for our case maybe a month or some change.
I,
um it's just interesting, man. It's just interesting, especially when you can observe reality from a different perspective. I was having a conversation with my a good friend of mine, his mom, and we were just having a chat about just okay, I guess current events. And one thing I've been really big on recently is just honoring people's views and not trying and not even wanting or having any intention to persuade you. Whatever conversation we're having, you have a free will to believe in whatever you want, because that's your individual creation. So me, I want to find a nugget or find something I can learn from you, so that by the time we're done with this conversation, we can both leave with something. I can leave with a new
yeah,
perspective on how you feel, and saying, okay, maybe a thought I had about this a week ago, now it's changed because now I see why you feel that you feel. Both of us are right, because
yeah,
that's our vibration, that's our belief, and I honor that. So thank you for sharing that perspective with me. And I've been really adopting that to my daily practices. If I'm talking.
yeah. I think that's really important to like, and it's a more fulfilling way to live life to go through
Mm-hmm.
like seeing everyone as a teacher, you know, and like I've
Yeah.
been doing that a lot with my little brothers, you know, where I think like you assume like, okay, what could like a 10-year-old and a 13-year-old know?
Yeah.
But like also like they're less programmed, you know, they're
Mm-hmm.
less conditioned, they're more
100%.
like raw. And so like I honestly like I learn a lot from them.
That's
And
beautiful.
yeah, it's super fun. Like it reminds me to like be childish again, you know, and
Mm-hmm.
like I'm not too old to like build Legos or
Yeah.
like I'm not too old for any of that.
We could probably make a whole empire. That's what I want to
Oh
do
yeah, dude.
now.
Yeah, I've been building like Lego starships for
Hey, that's
like
cool as
20 years
shit.
now.
That's cool as shit. I used to. Are you familiar with like the Bionicles? Those
Oh
I
yeah.
I
Yeah.
I just had that thought pop up. I forgot about them. I used to love getting them. I used to hate building them things though, because them things was hard as hell.
I was always a no instruction kind of guy. You know,
You feel me? Just
I
trying
had
to figure it out.
a big old like Lego bin, like thousands of Legos, like probably like thousands of dollars of Legos. And I used to just sit there like 6+ hours a day, just
That's
building ships and different things, building like armies and like setting them up
yo.
and just like I don't
That's
know. I've always
cool.
kind of just like lived in my own little imagination and
It's pretty cool though, because especially like I've been trying to honor what my inner child wants. So a really big thing for me is using those electric scooters. Like I'll just be downtown and zoom on them things. And I'm like, this shit cool as hell. I have my little headphones in and I'm just like,
Yeah. Those what are they called? Birds?
yeah.
Yeah, those things are so fun.
Hey, they go fast. I'm like, hey, okay, I'm passing cars. Let's go.
Yeah, I got my dad's credit card because my dad took me birding for the first time,
That's cool.
and he just like put his credit card on. So now, like, whenever I see a bird, I'm like, I could go for a little bird ride.
He won't mind. He
You
won't
won't
mind.
mind.
I always, of course, bro. I always end the show like this. If you wanted to uh, ask any question or anything, we've been talking a lot, but I like to end the show with leaving the floor to you if you want to discuss anything.
Uh, I'm trying to think. I know we usually drop some last minute
Yeah, exactly.
nuggets. Um, I feel like we've covered a lot, and
We have. So I guess what would your message be to humanity at this time?
okay, I'm not because last time I just said like I did the whole corny like
It ain't
go with
corny. What are you being called
the
to?
corny stuff's real though. It's like go within, find like what makes you happy, like find your purpose, live in that, and like you're gonna create a reality that really, um, yeah, that is fulfilling to you. And I guess I'll leave with this. Um, and this kind of ties back to seeing everyone as a teacher. Like I challenge you as the viewer for the first time maybe in your life to view your perspective of reality as a work of art in itself,
Mhm.
you know, to like become so self-aware of your own beliefs, your like in all the aspects, your relationships, the way you carry yourself, the way you dress, like the the emotions that you choose to spend most of your time in, the like whether you're primarily positive, optimistic, whether you're a skeptic, whether you're an opportunist, to become like really aware of the way that you perceive and experience reality
Mhm.
and then be intentional about it every day. Be intentional about the way that you live your life, and I think if you do that, you'll like instantly start seeing results of just finding yourself happier because the more intentional you are about these things, then like you're going to realize that a lot of the suffering you experience is self-inflicted and that
Mhm.
you choose to perceive events in negative ways and that by releasing that and releasing some of your limiting beliefs that you can live a more happy fulfilling purpose-filled life. So I guess that's
Bars, bars.
I'll end on that.
Mic drop. Man, Braden, of course, bro. You always welcome on anytime. This is your third time, so I'm pretty sure we will keep this bitch rocking.
Yeah, no, I loved this format too. I like the video a lot. So thanks for having me on.
Of course, man, because we was doing audio, because I was looking for like because yeah, you was part when I was still doing the strictly audio on
Yeah,
Apple and then Spotify. Now we're on the YouTube, man. It's been a journey, bro. At first, being on YouTube was a bit weird, and now I fucking love it now.
yeah, it's nice. I on audio, like for some reason I get more nervous. I'm just like
Yeah,
looking at my phone. I'm like they're expecting me to say something, and I'm like,
something insightful.
yeah, totally. And I'm not like as present, like when I feel like when I can see someone,
Yeah.
I like I can just sit there and like watch them speak. And
Hmm.
then this is something I'm also trying to be more intentional about. Is like when someone's speaking, like sit there, watch them speak, really be present for it, listen,
Don't have a reaction to what they're gonna say.
take your time, say what you want to say,
Mhm.
and yeah, so
It's it's
yeah,
uh it's a practice, man. It's a practice. But I'm enjoying the format. This is our first episode on YouTube, so I'm pretty sure it's gonna. Of course, it's always gonna be a dope one, guys. Again, if you're new to the show, hit the subscribe button, leave a comment, like it. I want to hear from you guys. Okay, as always, you are dope. I love you. Keep being awesome. Braden, of course, bro. You always welcome on anytime.
Hey, I'll be back.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Peace, everybody.